before. She's one of the leading candidates for U.S. Senate and the Republican nomination here in the state of Pennsylvania. She is a doctor. She's the CEO of Vintage Capital Group. She was U.S. ambassador to, it's Denmark, but there's other countries involved. We don't need to go into that. But an extremely accomplished woman. I keep saying, because, we had Dave McCormick on yesterday, Carla Sands today, and Dr. Oz Friday. We are so fortunate with the talent we have running for United States Senate, because we've got to hold that seat in order to take the Senate. It's been my honor to speak to these people. It really is. And we welcome, with no further ado, Carla Sands. How are you, Carla?
Hi, Bob. I'm great, and I wanted to say hi to your listeners throughout Wilkesboro area and just tell you and your listeners, I am a Rush baby, and so I'm so excited to talk to you again. I grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh. He helped me form, I'll say, my political beliefs.
And he was so clear on why and why this works and why that doesn't, that you understood that it made sense. It wasn't a guess or a feeling. It made sense what he believed, and I'm so happy you subscribe to his thinking. We need more of it.
We do. That clarity, 100%. That's what we need today in Washington.
So we've talked about your background, which is extraordinary. And you are campaigning around the state of Pennsylvania at the primary. It's closing in on us quicker than we might think. Tell us how your campaign is going from your standpoint.
It's going great. In fact, we had the unfortunate endorsement, but it helped us so much. Our media outreach exploded. Our fundraising increased by 400%. All of a sudden, conservatives got very worried. They're like, wait a second, this guy's not a conservative. We're in trouble here unless we consolidate behind the most prepared conservative, the only one that can actually win against Fetterman in November. And that's what we have to keep in mind, is not, this isn't a throwaway vote moment. This is a time to say who can take on Fetterman, who understands foreign policy, security policy, trade policy, who's ready on day one. There's only one person on either side of the aisle that's ready on day one, and that's me, and I'll defeat John Fetterman.
Tell us the things that you would do as our United States Senator day one.
Sure, and I just want to set the table for your listeners. I have a website, carlasands.com. I need your help. I need your help. I need volunteers, and I need fundraising. I need people to donate, to contribute, so that we can succeed against these unbelievably rich guys who are not conservative and who would lose against Fetterman because they are absolutely not believable to our conservative voters in Pennsylvania. We know that I'm a pro-life, pro-First Amendment, pro-Second Amendment, constitutional conservative, but I'm also a businesswoman, a Christian, and a mom. And I'm an eighth-generation Pennsylvanian, and my Pennsylvania ancestors fought in the American Revolution, and they fought in the Civil War, and there's no question we have to fight right now for the heart and soul of our great country. It's never been under attack from outside or from within like right now at this moment. This is the 11th hour to hold our constitutional republic together and not become a country like Venezuela because the left is so aggressive. The first thing I'll do in Washington is stop the out-of-control spending. In D.C., Joe Biden and his radical allies in his administration have been passing these multi-trillion-dollar bills stuffed with Green New Deal socialist policy that hurts our farmers, hurts our energy sector. We have to stop it, and I'll vote to stop it day one because it's hurting our families, most especially. We also know that their war on our Pennsylvania and American energy is the kerosene on the fire of that inflation, because when the cost of energy goes up, everything gets more expensive. Fertilizer, the fuel in our car, our groceries, just because it costs energy to make everything, to farm, to move it around. And we know we have to stop the Green New Deal assault on our liberties. They even want to control our thermostats in our houses. There's all kinds of bad stuff packed in these bills.
And we're talking with Carla Sands, Republican candidate for United States Senate. And Carla, they literally are coming for our freedoms in each of these things because, and by the way, it won't apply to them. It'll apply to us. It doesn't matter whether it's mask mandates or vax mandates. It doesn't matter what it is. They apply to the those of us who are stuck with their rule as opposed to them. They continue blissfully onward. What policies? One of the things you talk about is energy, and Pennsylvania energy in particular. Do you see that as a linchpin to your economic efforts?
You know, I do, Bob. First of all, when your listeners are pumping gas at the gas station, I want them to think of Carla Sands for the U.S. Senate. And here's why. Because I'm going to bring that cost down. I'm going to lower the cost at the pump. I'll be your energy senator, and we're going to ramp up our energy production. We're going to force them to harvest more here in Pennsylvania, put the pipes in. We're going to need to do a kind of Operation Warp Speed. So we have federal powers, and we'll work with whoever is elected governor to get this done so that the state level, we can have those regulations and permitting, harmonized with the federal so we can make it happen. And then we need to put a pipe out to the Philadelphia harbor and send some of that energy to our allies so we can sell them American freedom gas, and they don't have to buy Russian gas. I hope to earn their support May 17th. Go ahead.
Carla Sands, there was an entire plan. It's still on the shelf. It's still available to take Pennsylvania natural gas and bring it down to Philadelphia for further refinement and for distribution, both in this country and abroad. And the Democrats have stopped it.
But we're going to force them to allow it because now we understand energy isn't just a commodity, it's a weapon. And we have to have Pennsylvania and American energy independence and even energy dominance. So we're not importing Russian oil like we are today, heating the homes in New England. They need to use our American energy. But we know that they're coming for our guns, they're coming for our religion. They've already attempted to take out our freedom of speech, and they're relentless. Look at when that recent offer by to buy Twitter.
Oh, Elon Musk, yes.
By Elon Musk, and how they came after him so hard. Here's an American legal immigrant who built an unbelievably outstanding group of businesses, employing many thousands of Americans and contributing to our society in taxes and the GDP. And he attempts to buy Twitter to have free speech, one of the protected rights in our Constitution. And the left has attacked him like I never dreamed I would see. It's unbelievable. We have to protect our constitutional rights, and I will fight to do that. And I also want to let your listeners know that Russian gas pipeline, the one that goes from Russia to Germany, that was part of that assault on Ukraine when Joe Biden said we're not going to sanction that gas pipeline, and then he said, well, if there's a minor incursion by Russia into Ukraine, that's going to be okay. Those were two pieces of the puzzle, that allowed Putin to invade. My team and I blocked that Russian gas pipeline. The only place it was never completed during the entire Trump administration was where I was the ambassador. We were successful blocking it, working with NATO and the Department of Defense and the White House. So there are capabilities I bring that no one else does in this race. And for instance, I blocked with my team that Chinese-made 5G. Denmark, the entire kingdom, blocked Chinese-made 5G. They were the first European country to do it, understanding that that's not just 5G. Again, it's not just a commodity, it's a weapon that China uses against other countries. So I have a couple of opponents in this race, as you know. Two weak Republicans. Both owe a lot of their fortune to communist China, and you don't make a lot of money in China without bowing to the Chinese Communist Party because they're in control of that economy. I have another one, an actual conservative, but she lost her last race by 20 points in a red wave year. and not just a red wave year, the best year that Republicans had since 1953. She lost to a very, very weak Democrat. And now we're going to be up against John Fetterman, who's a strong Democrat. We need someone who's going to be able to defeat John Fetterman. It takes a winner, not someone who lost their last election by 20 points. And 20 points, I can just share with your listeners, they didn't steal that election by 20 points.
Carla Sands, the Republican candidate for United States Senate. Carla, what is your schedule? What are your efforts going to be focused upon as this race winds down?
Oh my gosh, I'm in Berks County tonight. I just came from Clarion County. We have been all over our Commonwealth nonstop. And what we're hearing is the people love this message of bringing opportunity to Pennsylvania, of turning around that 40-plus year slide that our Commonwealth has experienced as companies and jobs went offshore. We have to make things to be a country. Let's make the steel here. Let's produce the pharmaceuticals here. Let's make sure that we make things, that we process those rare earth minerals here. Why not in Pennsylvania, where we have such hardworking people and they're skilled? And we're going to create more jobs in energy as we lay those pipes and harvest. That's more. But we also need more of the cracker plants to split apart those molecules, like the one going in Western PA. They make those products that we use every day in our homes and in our office. There is opportunity galore, but we need sound leadership that's going to say, we can do this, this is how we get it done, and then make a coalition and make it happen. I have that vision. I was successful in Denmark we increased our trade over 43% while I was the ambassador, focusing on how do we support companies, how do we bring them in, we have to welcome them, and then we have to expand opportunity so that families in Pennsylvania decide to grow their family here. Businesses want to locate here. It's working with whoever is elected governor, but we can make that happen, and I'll be that rainmaker. There's been a lack of leadership in Pennsylvania, and we have languished as a state. And now it's our time